Okay, so I know I haven't uploaded in a little bit and haven't been really all that active, and that's because, well, because of this shit too, yeah, but also because of the following things that are being shown on screen right now. And now, onto the video. This is the first debut of Ninjago's two new main characters, Eren and Sora. And to be honest, I wasn't really too sure about these two for the first 10 minutes of the first episode, since it was the longest time that I have not seen any of the ninja on screen for. But after an episode or two, I fairly enjoyed Eren and Sora, and liked the type of characters that they are. And I found the idea of having all of the 16 realms merged together a really fun and cool idea, and it would be a good way to expand the world of Ninjago for more and new interesting stories. I do like how Lloyd's introduction is made to be as if this was the first time we've seen him, and I do like that vibe right off the bat, since this is a new series that we are being shown here. Also, I know it's a bit early in the video to mention this, but I absolutely love how the Swords Dragons are portrayed in Dragon's Rising. I'll get more into this later. But anyways, the arc with Lloyd being the new master is pretty good in my opinion. He's trying to follow in Wu's footsteps, but has to learn that he has to teach his new students in his own way and stop being in denial of being a master. Also, the Wu glazing is crazy. He was not that good of a master, dude. After season 4, bro just stopped telling you guys shit for no reason. But I do hope Wu does turn out to be dead and this yellow thing is just his soul or spirit or whatever, because it's time to pass the mantle off, and I am pretty sure that this was supposed to happen several seasons ago with Lloyd becoming a master, and I really hope his master position is final this time. Slowly but surely we get to see the old ninja group come back together again, while also traveling to new realms. And honestly, it's nice seeing old realms such as the Realm of Madness and the Cloud Kingdom come up again, along with some new ones as well. Some would say it's nostalgia bait or lazy writing, but I think it's a good way of showing that certain aspects and elements of a world or series aren't forgotten, unlike certain techniques and skills, and it gives the writers a chance to build more upon those elements that are returning. Also, the Cloud Kingdom is stupid. I know there are certain things that can defy destiny in this show, but how much is too much to the point where the whole Cloud Kingdom writing the future and shit becomes useless and pointless. But hey, the reference to Moro was nice at least. Quite fitting that someone in the Cloud Kingdom is the new Master of Wind. Also, I think that they did Sora's backstory in this very well in my opinion. After rejecting working in the Imperium lab and not being an Empress Beatrix suck-up, her peers and students just straight up ostracize her and don't even look at her general direction, including her freaking parents. They called her a disappointment and was disappointed that she was their daughter. They literally took all of the shit she had in her room away, and they don't look her in the eyes when they give her dinner. Honestly, at this point they should have just put her up for adoption, because she straight up renamed herself to Orphan and basically disowned herself from her parents. Honestly, I only wish they leaned a little bit more into making her parents look like scumbags just to really hit harder that Sora had it rough. But this is good. This is a show aimed towards kids, and this is fine, in my opinion. This is fine. Also, the dragon racism in this show goes crazy, by the way.
Filthy dragons can't eat here.
Storm breather. Dragons are just mindless beasts, Anna.
Filthy lizard.
I can't believe you've been hiding a filthy dragon this whole time, Floor Tile. What self-respecting Empyrean would be a dragon lover?
What up, my Drigger? You can really see the influence the Empress has everyone under. Even at the end of the season, when she was exposed for not being what she says she is, there are people that still are willing to follow her. I know it's just Sora's parents that we saw siding with Beatrix still, but who knows? Maybe there are others that are with them as well. It kind of reminds me of the Owl House, when Emperor Bellows had everyone under his thumb for the majority of the show, and had everyone in the mindset of thinking that wild magic is bad and having freedom isn't good, and magic should just be put in a strict code. And even when he's dead in the grave, there are still a few people that are willing to go back to his way of thinking. You can see the inspiration from the Owl House and Imperium too. From its black and goldish aesthetic to the leaders of the kingdoms thinking very little of their citizens. I don't really know if the whole idea of Imperium was actually inspired by the Owl House, but there were just some connections that I've made between that show and this one. Also, just to nitpick a little bit here, I do not like the Lloyd flashback. Like, I get it, it's a new show and I get why they did it, but I saw Masters of Spinjitzu and I know what Lloyd originally sounded like as a kid, and I wish they got the old voice actress back. But this is a bullet that I can bite, if I'm being honest. But hey, I did like Wildfire very much. Her design is very wild. I love her wild, impulsive, and brash demeanor in this season. And her bond with Kai is quite nice and wholesome. Also, I hate the fact that Kai is just the new comic relief now. I just felt like that I had to mention that. And oh my god, the Swords Dragons are awesome. I've always loved a good display of power in fiction, and having these Swords Dragons be the godly figures of this world is so damn cool. This one Swords Dragon that was captured in Imperium just saying that if he was to be released then the world will become unstable, and him just saying that he has the power to tear down the kingdom of Imperium with just his claw really says a lot for how powerful these dragons are. Which also kind of makes me question how the fuck Roz was able to capture something like that in the first place. Also, I'd like to mention that I really like the unique designs for the dragons, and it really reminds me of the designs for the dragons in the First Realm in the Oni trilogy, with their different and varying looks. These Source Dragons made the Dragon Cores, and these cores were supposed to stop the 16 realms from merging, therefore preventing the coalescence from happening. But this time they didn't do that for some reason this time. But yeah, this is the part where I really start getting invested into the story. The ninja venture out to find these dragon cores and permanently stop the merge quakes for good. And I will say that the stakes are pretty good for the first season so far. With the merge quakes appearing so rapidly, they could destroy the entire world. But honestly, I just wish we got to see a little bit of that throughout the quest for the cores. Like after one of the ninja groups obtained one of the dragon cores, 2 or 3 merge quakes appear at the same time and at the same place. And the amount of quakes slowly start to get higher, and the ninjas start to get even more tired with how many merge quakes they're putting out so fast. You know, just to put our heroes on a bit of a high stake timer and show the audience how serious of a problem this is if they don't get the dragon cores in time. Because after the Riders of Destiny episode, we never really see a single merge quake until the very end of the season. So personally, I don't really feel that urgency or feel like that this problem isn't really all that urgent. So anyways, after the first Spinjitzu Master exposition, the ninjas go out and find the dragon cores. And we kind of hit this part in the season where the episodes start to feel a little bit fillerish. Not to say that the filler is bad or filler in general is bad, it's just that sometimes it can suck. Looking at you, Secrets of Forbidden Spinjitzu. But to be honest, these small adventure episodes that felt like filler were pretty entertaining. Nothing too special to be honest, but they were pretty good. My favorite ones would have been Wildly Inappropriate and The Last Djinn due to the relationship between the new ninja members and the old ones, and the good messages that the episodes send. If it wasn't for the Zane and Frohickey subplot in both of the episodes, it honestly brings both of them down very much. Also,
holy retcon Batman, the rules for the Djinn shifted.
But something I will say is that Ninjago has gotten a little bit more into the teachings of moralities in these filler-ish episodes. One time when Lloyd and Aaron were given the Dragon Core from the people guarding it, they also found out that Rapton tried to steal it earlier, and that he's been sentenced to death. While Aaron wants to leave him to his fate, damn kid, that's cold. Lloyd insisted upon sparing him because he says all life is important, and honestly, I could spend all day talking about if a murderer should be killed or imprisoned, but I'll just say that ideologies are different with each person. Also, the IDW Sonic comics have taught me a little bit about the good and sparing evil people. After this, we meet Cole, who surprisingly doesn't really stick around all that much after Sora and Nia get the Dragon Core, because he goes off to follow the whispers he's hearing from Wu, and just does all of that off screen. So thank God we get to see more of him in seasons 2 and 3, because I like Cole, and it'd be a shame if we didn't get to see much of him in this series. Also, as much as I hate Kai for being the new comic relief character in this series, he has had some pretty good moments with Wildfire, such as teaching her that things that she might find funny may not be funny to other people when she was doing pranks in one of those filler-ish episodes, and teaching her how to have a cool head sometimes in certain moments. And honestly, I really like how much Kai has grown in this series. It really shows his growth, and he feels like a real team.
Wildfire, this is a stealth mission. So the theme would go more like da 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 da.
Oh, yeah. Got it.
Da 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 da. I forgot there's two of them now. Da 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 da.
Okay, but I do have to keep in mind that she is literally just Kai's second sister, and they are giving off the same energy. And honestly, I freaking love it. And now's the part where we start hitting the season's climax. Also, I don't know about all of you guys, but I love how petty and salty Empress Beatrix is. She's basically the villain only for this season, and after this, we don't see her ever again. And I'm pretty sure she is dead. Like, throughout the season, she should be focusing on capturing dragons and getting more power for her city since it's in such a power shortage. But right now, she is laser focused on the ninja and locked in on them, since they straight up disrespected her and beat her army in a battle. Like, okay bro, chill out, you got beat once, it ain't that deep. But what was deep is her disdain for elemental masters, which is part of the reason as to why she's so hell-bent on getting the ninja. Due to her sister Zeatrix having elemental powers and showing her up in just straight up being first in line to being the next empress after her father, and being born literally 2 minutes after her. Damn bro, sucks to suck, no wonder why she's so salty. And Roz was the one who helped her get the throne by killing her father and blaming her sister for the death so that Beatrix could be the new empress. And honestly, I was surprised that the writers were going in that direction in telling how she became empress. I've always thought about the ninja facing an enemy who just hates elemental powers the same way Lex Luthor hates Superman. I think it was done alright. Don't get me wrong, I liked it and all, and Beatrix's hatred for elemental powers is made personal with her sister having an elemental power and showing her up. But I do wish we leaned a little bit more into that aspect of hating elemental powers more. But Beatrix just straight up crashes out and goes off the deep end after Sora exposes her, creating merge quakes all over her city, literally freaking killing people. Okay, not necessarily killing people, but you know what I mean, putting them in danger. And just creating chaos everywhere, bro. Like, she is crashing the fuck out right now, and just making the merged realm even more unstabilized. But in this chaos, Sora's parents tried to convince Sora to come back to them, because they still trust Beatrix and still see her as their empress. And by standing up to her parents, telling them how she really feels, and acknowledging that she doesn't need her parents' acceptance or approval to know that she's worth something, Sora finally unlocks her true potential. And I think that's a really great development for Sora right there. So then the season closes off with Lloyd using the dragon energy cores to put a stop to the merge quakes for good, and Roz and Jordana teaming up and foreshadowing for a new and more ominous threat. Also, I do like how the season does address Wildfire and Kai's powers being different, and how he can burn things to ash and Wildfire can melt things. So that's a nice little touch. And that's my Ninjago Dragons Rising Season 1 review. I really loved this first season, and the characters were quite enjoyable. Though some of the dialogue and humor I did find to be a little bit stupid and dumb. but I'm pretty sure it makes up for it with its great story, amazing animation, good characters, and fantastic villains. And some of the episodes had good moral lessons too, so I enjoyed that a lot. Anyways, tell me what you thought of this first season. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What do you rate it? Also, just to let you know, this is being made after the release of Season 3 Part 1, and the trailer for the second part of that season just came out recently, while in the making of this video. Anyways, I hope Sensei Wu's dead. That's going to be it for today's video. Like, comment, subscribe, and good night, my ninjas and masters, and good night, Ninjago.